A friend of mine found a 6-week-old kitten abandoned in the streets and could not find a home for him. It was the week before Thanksgiving, and I was 9 months pregnant. The last thing we needed to add to our home was a kitten. But something told me that we should rescue him. When we brought Percy home, he was malnourished and covered in his own waste. He looked like he had an eye infection and ringworm. We cleaned him up and had to spoon feed him at first because he was really weak. Soon he was eating and drinking on his own and gaining his strength back. We took him to the vet to get him checked out because he was leaking bloody urine and had really bad diarrhea. The vet said he had an infection in his bladder as well as giardia. We got medicine for him and brought him home and began to fall in love with Percy. He was so small and just wanted to be held and be as close to us as possible. After a few days, we noticed the blood did not clear up in his urine and he was still leaking and not using the litter box, so we took him back to the vet. The vet noticed he had a limp tail. An x-ray confirmed that he had 2 breaks in his tail and his bowels were completely impacted. The vet said the tail breaks would leave him incontinent and he would never be able to go to the bathroom on his own. She recommended that we euthanize Percy. I was devastated. I told my family the news and we all decided we weren't ready to give up on Percy, but we didn't know how to help him. I stayed up all night researching how to care for a cat with a tail pull injury, including how to express his bladder and his bowels, what he should eat, and how to diaper him. I found support from people all over the world who shared their stories and helped me learn how to care for Percy. They gave me hope. And Percy was fighting. He wasn't ready to give up either.
Are you hungry, Percy? Percy? Tell me how hungry you are. You starving? You are?
Diapering was a challenge for all of us. Since he was so little, we first tried making our own cloth diapers, but that we had no easy way to fasten them. We finally found some preemie diapers, which were still a bit big, but they would have to work. It took some time for Percy and I to figure out the best way to diaper.
He got it off. No, don't try to get it off. Come here, Percy.
Percy, he got it.
Aww.
Soon he learned to walk in a diaper.
Oh, he's walking better.
Once he got used to it, it really didn't bother him. Percy made it to Christmas, and we were all breathing a little easier and really began to think that Percy could live a full and long life. Only 4 weeks after we rescued Percy, my youngest son was born, and Percy was immediately bonded to him. Everywhere Oliver was, Percy was nearby. Percy continued to grow and thrive, and the bond between Oliver and Percy grew. They have always stayed really close. Besides Percy needing his diaper changed, he was like any other non-diapered cat. He loved to take naps for hours, and he loves going outside to chase grasshoppers and butterflies. He still had a paralyzed tail, which he loved trying to catch. It was one of his favorite play toys. Unfortunately, since the feeling never came back in his tail, we decided to amputate it. It was a hard decision to make, but the risk of him getting caught somewhere was getting too great. We learned how to express Percy's bladder and how to change his diaper. And honestly, he's easier to change than my toddler. Much easier than Oliver. Percy is 2 years old now and may have used a few of his 9 lives. But despite his disability, he is able to live a full life just like any other cat. Percy has changed our lives forever, and we wouldn't want it any other way.